Hello, I'm Emily from Shopography, and today I'm doing a little mini case study video with Evie Jacob. She's a client of mine that I worked with pre-holiday last year, and her shop has been up and running for a couple of months, and I just wanted to check in with her and see how her business has grown since launching her new website. So this is Evie Jacob. Evie, will you please introduce yourself and what you do?
Okay, hi, I'm Evie of Evie Jacob, and I'm a wife and I'm a mom, and I always planned to go to law school when my babies grew up. And they grew up, but I never did go to law school.
Good.
Instead, that's what I think too. Instead, I found myself taking a fun little art class with a few of my friends, and I could not stop. And then somehow along the way, I figured out that I just love designing things that are fun and happy. And here I am. So I've got this business where I design things to help people celebrate the big, fabulous moments in life and also the fun little everyday things.
Awesome. Well, I love your designs. Whenever you first contacted me, I remember looking at your stuff and just wanting one of everything. And I still do it. I still go to your website sometimes and I just sort of start picking through things. Like, I should get all of these cards and all of your fun wall prints and stuff. I've already started redecorating Lily's room in my head, and your wall prints are on the walls. Just so you know. So no, your stuff is really fun. It's really bright and colorful. You're not afraid of mixing colors, and you do really great things with patterns, and I really love what you do. So good. Well, I'm glad that you didn't do law school, because that would have kept you from starting the business that you have now. So good job.
Thank you.
All right. So whenever you contacted me, I went back earlier and was going through some of our first emails back and forth. And you contacted me sort of mid-November of last year. And whenever you contacted me, it was a very sort of, I need this website now kind of thing. Because the holidays were coming and we wanted to get down before the holidays, and you had an event coming up in January. But whenever you did come to me, you actually did have a website. So you were coming to me more for a redesign than you were for, a fresh new start as an online business. So tell me a little bit about the website that you had before contacting me.
Okay. The website that I had before was not my first website.
Ooh.
I know. The first website was an out-of-the-box kind of website, pre-packaged thing, and you can customize it a little bit and personalize it a little bit. But I had decided that the business had outgrown that, and I wanted to be able to do things that I couldn't do with that kind of a site. So I got my first custom perfect site, and although it was really pretty and nice, it didn't accomplish the goals that I wanted to accomplish. So I wound up being disappointed with it, and that was when I started keeping my eye open for things that I liked. And I knew when I saw your site, I just trusted my instincts. I knew you could make what I was envisioning happen.
Right. Well, good. Well, that's good. I think a lot of people sort of start out with these out-of-the-box websites where they just sort of plug and go, and it's always a slow evolution from this sort of very inexpensive, really quick to do website, and then evolving as your business grows into something bigger. But I want to talk a little bit more about the website that you had before contacting me, the middle website, we'll call it. Yes. Because since it was custom built, and I do often have people who have these custom built websites, they feel they're sort of stuck in them because they put this money out, but the platform that they're on isn't solving their problems or helping them with their needs, or or they're not happy with the design. There's all kinds of reasons. So let's talk about that middle website that you had. What platform was it on, and what features did you have?
Okay, that website was a WordPress platform, and the e-commerce portion of the site was through Zencart. Zencart was something that I had to begin with, and I carried it over with me to this middle site. And don't, uh-oh, did I lose you? Oh, there you are again. Anyway, the Zencart is not, it wasn't as flexible as I would have liked for it to be, but that wasn't really my problem. I would have stuck with that middle site, but WordPress platform wasn't the best platform I thought for an e-commerce site. It was like my blog was the main part of my site, and then my products were in a long column. You know, one item, one product, and then the next product, not like a page, like on a catalog when you look in a catalog and you can see a page of products.
Right.
So it was just, you know, it was pretty, but it was very disappointing.
Right. I do remember one of the things that you were unhappy with on your website was sort of the display of products and the organization. You weren't able to really organize your products because you have so many products and lots of product categories that you weren't able to display everything the way you wanted because just the options were not available. So good. So there were issues that you had, and you were ready for something that would actually fit your needs and your business a lot better.
Yes.
So what was sort of the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will? For what was it that made you decide this is the point in which I'm going to sort of ditch this website that I have created and embark on this redesign?
Oh gosh, I think that it was two things. One was I didn't find the site very easy for me to update and upload, and although I can design up, down, and sideways all day long with technology, I don't think that the website stuff comes very naturally to me, and I don't really take the time to learn how to do it better. And so I found WordPress to be not the best way for me to be updating the different sections of my site, and that was why it was very hard for me to organize. If I had one type of a product, maybe it would have been perfect, but because I do have so many different products and variations, it got very clunky and difficult for me to make it the way that I wanted it to be. And I think that I'm sort of impulsive in a way, in a careful way. So I knew that I wasn't totally happy. I knew that I wanted a change, but I wasn't going to be truly impulsive about it until I knew the right thing had come along. So it wasn't really there wasn't really a straw that broke the camel's back. It was more like, there's a solution. I think, it was more like that.
Good. Well, that's even better than sort of making this decision on, in an angry moment because you couldn't do something that you wanted to do. So that's really good. So you did come to me, like I said, November. We started working on your website, and I was actually looking at the timeline in which we developed your website, and we sort of knocked your website out really, really quickly. And the key with that was you were one of those clients that's just really, really easy to work with. You're ready to get in there. You're ready to make decisions, and you had really good ideas for what you wanted. And I guess because you'd had sort of this history with not so functional websites, I do remember getting in there and you being like, "This is what I do want. This is what I don't want. So let's make it work." And I think we ended up knocking out your web design and build in less than a month.
It was amazingly fast.
Yes, it was really fast. And I should also point out that was just design and build, and you actually loaded all of your products yourself. So that was really just the point. We designed it, I coded it, we loaded it, and then I sort of handed it over to you. And then you put it in all of your content and your products. But still, a month is pretty quick. You were ready.
I was ready. I knew really exactly what I wanted. But then you were able to guide me. And when I needed to, when I said, this part I don't know what to do.
Right.
You knew what I needed before I knew I needed it.
Right. So sometimes I have to learn to read minds. And you were one of the, you were so open and just sort of willing to also let me do that. That's one of those things that I find with clients sometimes, and all designers do, is there are some that are really open to having sort of input from the designer. I mean, you guys hire us so that we can, give you our expertise. And whenever a client is really open and receptive to those sorts of, this is how I would suggest you do it, instead of fighting us, you are actually really, really good about, just sort of going with it. And because of that, we were able to do your site really quickly, really well. And it's still one of my favorite projects. Whenever I go through my projects, and I do that often, just to look and see all the things that I've done with people, yours is always one that I go back to, as one that the finished product is really good, and also while working with you, it was such a good experience for me. So good. So we have this new website built. What is your favorite thing about your new website? And I say new, and it's really not even that new, but the website that we built together.
I love everything about it. So I just love it. I think it's just so cute. As soon as I go to the homepage, it's truly an extension of my brand. I think that everybody that goes to it gets a sense of what I'm about, and I'm inseparable from my company. And so it's just about clean, simple, happy, fun, not too complicated, just enjoying things. And from the home page on, the design conveys that. And then I have so many different types of products, and the navigation is so simple and clean. And even the things that you put in there, like the bolded, stationery, and you bolded the For Your Home part and put the little break in there, I think it helps people who are using the site to get where they really want. I hope they want to look at everything, but really they're probably there to just look at what they're looking for. Right. And I think we set it up in such a way that they can get there and they don't feel overwhelmed. If I have all this stuff, and I think that if I'm not careful with how I organize it, it could seem like a big mishmash of stuff.
Right.
And the way it's set up, it's just clean and simple and easy to use. I love it. I just love it all.
Good. Thank you. Good. I'm so glad to hear that. I really like it when people really love their websites.
Another thing. You know what? It is so easy for me as a not website technology person to make changes when I need to. There was, a category that I wanted to add or subtract, or adding products and linking things to each other. It's just simple. It's beautiful.
Well, good. I'm so glad to hear. That's one thing that's really important to me, and that's why I've sort of hooked up with the platform that I do. It's really important for me that you guys are able to manage your own websites. And I've been working with you the past couple of weeks to add new products and things, and being able to offer help when needed, but also knowing that you are able to sort of do things on your own is really important to me. And also business owners, creative entrepreneurs are creative entrepreneurs because they don't want to rely on other people. It's sort of the nature of us, is that we're, these sort of solidary beings, and we don't want to depend on other people. So that's sort of, that's why I really like the system. But also to touch back on your brand and your website, again, I loved your product. So being able to sort of convey your brand and the fun that you bring to your products, to your web design, was so much fun to me. So that was really fun. And then also the navigation is sort of going into our next topic. And again, it's one of those things where quite often I'll have clients who come to me and their biggest issue is their products and how they have so many, and question number one is always, how do I organize them? And I always send them to your site. And I'm like, this is a perfect example of someone who has lots and lots of product categories. You do note cards, and you just put up sports bottles and bins and paperweights. I mean, you do sort of this whole, you can totally outfit an entire office with all the cool stuff that you have. And so you have all of these categories. And that was sort of the big thing that we tackled with your website was organizing all of these. So if you remember, how have you sort of gone about to develop this organizational scheme for your products that's not so overwhelming?
Well, I tried a few different approaches. First of all, I just took out tons of pads of paper and literally wrote down different ways of approaching it. And one way was to approach by designs and patterns, and one way was to approach by colors, and
right.
One way was to approach by use, whatever, occasion, by the occasion, right. Let's say. And then I decided to scrap all of those ideas, and instead I approached it as somebody who is actually looking for something. And then it just clicked. If you right. approach it as, how, we're so attached to our stuff, it's hard to look at it like somebody who doesn't know anything about it looks at it. And when they're looking at my site, if they're looking for a clipboard, they don't maybe necessarily want to see that there's a matching notepad and a matching travel mug right away. It's not meaningful to them to see the pattern. It's more meaningful to them to see all the clipboards. And then once they've picked the pink chevron clipboard, then maybe they're interested in seeing that there's matching notepads and stuff right. like that. So then it just all made sense. But that worked for me. I don't know that literally works for everybody, but it definitely made it make sense.
Right, and that's actually completely perfect, is quite often clients will come to me, and I've seen it on other websites too. It's not even people that I work with, but they're so connected with their products. They want to give their customers this ability to find their products in so many different ways that sometimes the easiest way is the easiest way. I mean, just do it one way, get it done, have it as simple as possible, and don't give them too many options. Because, I mean, I love the way that we were able to take, and I actually did the same thing with your products. I made lists and lists, and on your project sheets, the back of the papers, it's not even notes from phone calls. It's just lists of your products and rearranging them over and over. So I definitely did that too, and it really was sort of the simplest. Just categorize them, get them out there, and make it really easy to find. I think that's perfect. Definitely step back from your products as the business owner and look at it as someone who's actually going to be shopping your website to see how it is that they're most likely going to search for your items. So that's very smart. Good job.
We're smart cookies.
Okay, so another feature that we added to your website was you wanted to sort of reincorporate this blogging, but as you said with your WordPress site, whenever it was with WordPress, the blogging was sort of the soul of your website, not your products. And you wanted to reverse that with your new site, make your products front and center, and then also have this accompanying blog. So we did build the blog for you. And I wanted to ask, how it is that you use your blog for business, because that's, a very, very big topic is how do creative entrepreneurs use blogging for their business, and how has it contributed to the growth of your business?
It's a funny thing. Sometimes I feel like I'm blogging to nobody. You just put that stuff out there, but inevitably somebody orders something because they saw it on the blog, and I didn't even know that they had looked at the blog. So I just have fun with it. If there's something cute coming out of the studio, I take a picture of it. If there's something going on in the company, like we're doing a trade show, and I can share what the booth looks like and what the new products all grouped together look like. And it's just fun for me to show that. And I think also everything is so customizable and personalizable that I sell and design, and I think it's really fun to see what people come up with. That they decided to do navy ink with the pink design and it looks so cute. And I, originally would have encouraged them to go with green, not navy blue, and it looks adorable. And so I take a picture and pop it up there and tell a little story about how that came to be. And I think it helps to inspire people. And certainly it helps me to remember too. I go back and I look and remember what we've done. So it's nice. And I think even though at the moment when I put up a blog entry, maybe I'm not getting any comments, I think people are inspired by it anyway, and they eventually let me know. So I don't feel like I'm blogging nobody.
No, I completely agree. I love your blogging style. I think small creative businesses who just sort of do, I call it blurb blogging, and it's just something I've totally made up, but where it's literally just an image, quick snippet of info, the end. I mean, short, sweet, to the point. I love that sort of blogging because, I have tons of blogs in my RSS feed, and I'm much more likely to read 2 sentences from someone than I am 4 paragraphs most days. So I love the way you blog, and I love the way you blog about your products. A lot of people are sort of timid about doing that, but I mean, that's what a business sort of product blog is about. And I really love how you have so many products that I think blogging and sort of featuring sort of one product at a time will give excuse me, will give your readers or visitors a chance to see something that they may not have seen sort of rummaging through your products on the site. There's been a couple of times that I've done that. I check out your blog often. You're not blogging to no one, trust me. So, and it's products that I haven't seen before because they're sort of in your menu, but you actually featured on the blog, and and that's where I see it. So I think that's really important. And what you said about getting comments is sort of a topic that I really want to touch on my blog at some point is vanity metrics. Comments are one of those things where people sort of judge the abilities of their blog by the number of comments they get. But if people aren't commenting but purchasing those products, I would rather get a purchase than a comment any day. Personally. Right. So no, I think that's really great. And I really love how you use your blog to just sort of do these short little snippet highlights of some products, and especially one-of-a-kind things like that, where just you have it listed, but every time you send it out, it's different. And you're never really selling the same thing twice. I think it's wonderful. It's a good job.
Thank you.
All right, so finally, sort of last question here. What changes have you seen in your business since you launched your new website?
Oh, the business has changed in every way possible. It has just everything about it. The excitement that people have to be able to really see what I have and what's available to them has gotten people excited about the brand. They know a lot more about the brand now and the products. It's helped me to push my designs farther by seeing, sometimes I'll look on the page of a category and I'll be like, oh, something's missing. I can, I need to include something new, or something isn't really reflecting the collection the way that I had hoped, and it needs to go. I went from a handful of orders to so many orders that we just are growing, and I don't even want to bring bad luck on myself by saying it, but it's completely changed. And I've gone from being sort of a designer to being a creative business owner, which was a very big change, and I'm loving it. It's great. I love it.
That's awesome. I love that. And I've sort of seen your business grow. This is my favorite thing about my job is helping people launch their websites and then watching them grow. And I've watched on your Twitter feed you getting these huge wholesale accounts and all kinds of really exciting things, and I can see that you're excited about it. So good. I'm so glad that launching this business, whether it be with me or anyone else, has had such a huge and positive impact on your business. It makes me happy.
Thank you so much. And I really think that you're a very, very big part of this growth. So I thank you a million times over.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, everyone, this has been Evie Jacob from eviejacob.com. You should totally go check out her website and order lots of really adorable things because you're going to want to buy them all. And yeah, until next time.